Hi. All right. Hi, everyone. It's been a while since I've been live streaming from this office, so I'm back. Let's see who's in the chat. Bart, thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening to you. Yeah, I'm trying Restream Studio right now. See if this makes live streaming easier for me, less stressful, but so far so good. Opera regular on the Webflow, the Flow Walkers. Welcome. Glad you're here. And uh Peter, Peter, I'm glad you're here. You've been such a supporter of me for a long time, and I'm a supporter of you. Thank you so much for being here. Um, oh wow, more people. Brent, Josh Lopez is here. Tyler, what's up, Tyler? Co-founder of Memberstack. Yes, welcome to you all. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's just get straight into it. Uh, Ophelia has launched. It's been something that I've been working on for the past month, ever since I left Webflow. And yeah, I guess it's a passion project. And my passion has always been to help people. And that's where it stemmed from. And so if you want to know the backstory of all this, well, it all started like a week before I left Webflow. I was like, "Oh, how am I gonna pay bills? How am I gonna what do I do?" I know I want to just build stuff. I want to get back to building things with Webflow, but what do I do? And the easiest thing to do is, like, I've been doing side projects for a couple of clients, um making their websites in Webflow, but my time was always compacted. And so with more time, I'm like, oh, okay, take the traditional freelance agency route and team up with my wife, who's a graphic designer. Cool. And I told her, let me uh I want to do a thing where I help people, where just like customer service, like they send me tickets, and then they pay for my time, and I answer their ticket. So pay per ticket, something like that. And she straight up said, no, you don't have enough time to do that. You are just one person. And it made me go, oh yeah, you're right. I can't do it. I want to do it, but I can't. So after a week of just thinking and trying to figure out what can I do to help people, um and I realized it's creating something like Ophelia. So I'll get into that more deeply. But hello again to, let's see here, James Levine and Steven. Welcome. You're here. So today it's going to be more of a presentation of what I've learned in these past 30 days of building Ophelia from zero, from nothing, a blank Webflow project with an idea, to actually launching. And I'm launching today. So again, it's hiophelia.com. All right, let me try this. Let me try this out. I'm gonna edit this, hiophelia.com, and show it. Oh, wow. Restream Studio. All right, that was pretty cool. Hiophelia.com. It is launched. You can go there right now or even after the stream and sign up for free. And it's a way to help you with your Webflow roadblocks. All right. So that's Ophelia. Now let's go into, actually, let me just show you what it is real quick before I get into presentation mode. All right. And yeah, if you have any questions, post them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. Okay, so after you log into Ophelia, it's just this. It's this. And I've made this all inside of Webflow and using a bunch of other tools, which I'll get into soon. But yeah, you ask your ticket to a pro, you pay them for their time and pay them for their knowledge, and there you go. And if you want to be on the other side, who is someone who loves to help the community, help with their roadblocks in Webflow, all you have to do is just apply to be a pro, which, oh, I don't have the apply button, but yeah, because I'm a pro member right now. But you can apply to be a pro, and then every ticket that you answer, you can earn credits, which you can then cash out for real money through a Stripe account. All right. So that's Ophelia in a nutshell. Now, let's get into demonstration, or actually presentation mode. There we go. All right. And hello to everyone again. So Here we go. Go my notes. All right. So where did this start? So I already told you where did this start. I wanted to help people, but being one person is and trying to help everyone is not possible. That doesn't scale. So I had to think deeply. And so how I thought deeply was, okay, how can I help my fellow human? And I figured out that in order to help your fellow human, you have to start small. If you have an idea, start as small as possible and experience any problem that you are experiencing day in and day out. There has to be a solution for it. There has to be a solution. And my solution is the problem that kept seeing in the Webflow community is the Webflow forum has 10 to 35 forum threads that have no replies. 10 to 35 forum threads a day that have no replies. Um, and my thought is I want to help those people, and I've been helping those people since 2013, but it gets to the point where and there's other people who help who are selfless and they help with their free time and they help people with no expectations of it getting anything back, but it gets to a point where that help is not valued, not in a sense of, oh, thank you so much. People do say thank you, but you can only help for so long to the point of I'm getting burnt out. There's I'm helping as many people as possible, but I can't. I have my own time, and you know what? What if I can make some money off of helping people? That would really bring some value to me helping. And so there's those two sides. You have one side who's always asking for help, and the other side who wants to help, but then they get burnt out. And that's myself included. So I've experienced both sides of this. I've asked on Twitter and stuff for like, how do you do this in Webflow? I've hit a roadblock. And on the other side, I'm helping a lot of people, but then I burn out. So my solution to this was doing something like Uber, where I can get where Uber is someone is requesting help to get from point A to point B. So you just go on the app and ask, hey, I need help getting across the city or across the state, across the country. So the longer the more complex the trip is, or longer the trip is, the more you'll pay. And we as humans understand that time and resources is valuable to us, right? So I wanted to do something like this for the Webflow community. So you have one side who needs help and the other side who wants to make money helping those people, right? And when I say starting small, you start really small. You figure out what people call, you probably heard this before, MVP, minimum viable product. And so let me go back here. Okay, cool. So let's take a story with Webflow. So Vlad, when he first pitched to Y Combinator in 2012, the Webflow idea, they they denied him funding. But someone, I guess from that Y Combinator board said something very valuable to him, where it's like start small. And so what he pitched was Webflow with CMS, multi-page, like a bunch of features. He wanted to come out launching Webflow with everything. And someone told him, start smaller. And so they went back and made Webflow into a landing page builder. There was no CMS. There was no multi-page. There was no custom code. There was no uh Webflow when it first launched out of closed beta. It was very, very basic. And you can actually go to it right now at playground.webflow.com. It's HTTP, no HTTPS. So that's how old it is. So you can go there right now and experience the first ever version of Webflow. It was so basic, but it needed to be because you need to start small, right? Um, and I heard this same note from Duncan and Tyler's here from Memberstack. They when I asked them what advice would you give me when building an app? They said start small. I asked this again to Chris from JetBoost, and he also said start small. I've asked a bunch of other founders, And it's the same thing over and over again. Start small. So I had to figure out what that small meant. And yeah, so start small. Hello, 3 and Maj, welcome. All right. So when you start small, you're building out your minimum viable product. And so what that means is what are the smallest things? What are the just the baseline functions you need for your app? And again, with Vlad's story, it's just make one page, no CMS, just focus on HTML and CSS being written by an app. And they got that down. For me, for Ophelia, it was what are the basic functions for me, which is you have members and then you have pros. You have the community members who need help, and you have the pros that want to provide that help. What do I need to figure out in order to make this work? So I brought it down to 4 things, 2 for the members and then 2 for the pros. And the 2 for the members is how can someone purchase credits through Stripe? And then 2, how can someone submit a ticket? That's it. I didn't design anything. I just wrote those 2 things down on a paper, and I said, "Okay, this is where I'm gonna start." Now for the pros, my other 2 things were, how can someone who's a pro solve a ticket and receive those credits that are attached to those tickets? And lastly, how can someone cash out those credits for actual money? And that's how it all started. And I didn't I didn't know anything at this point. I haven't used Make enough. I haven't used Memberstack or anything else enough to make this idea work. I'm coming out as a newbie, but I knew I wanted to build this and learn. And so what I learned was Stripe. Wait, oh, ooh, my- okay, yeah. So the MVP, write down all the things. Yes, most basic functions. Yeah. Sorry, I missed the slide. Okay. So we get this? Screenshot it, whatever. All right. So build out the basic functions and then add the design later. Yes. Next slide. Josh, we've been using Make more lately and I've been loving it. Same here. I'll go through why I choose Make. But yeah, so what I had to do to make this the first part happen, which is how can someone purchase credits through Stripe and then that data gets sent over to Webflow? I was stressing out. I was like, I don't know how to do this. Let me Google it. Let me Google Bard, Chat GPT, someone tell me what's the answer. And the more I kept searching, the more I kept fiddling around with the Stripe API, which looked so complex to me. I stumbled upon this. Yes, I stumbled upon this YouTube video by Connor Finlayson. He does the Unicorn Factory, awesome Webflow community member, one of the first presenters over at the 2019 No Code Conf. And yeah, he did a great YouTube video. And then he led into if you want to learn more, here's a course that you can buy. And I was like, oh, I need it. I need to understand this. So I bought his course for $199. I value that human being. I value the course. It has helped me tremendously to get over all the mental roadblocks, all the learning roadblocks to make Ophelia happen. So I strongly, strongly recommend. Let me put it in chat right now. Strongly recommend Connor's um video tutorials, his YouTube channel. Really great guy. Yes, Tyler. Yes, exactly. Connor is great. So check out his course. Really good person. Um so his course helped me understand what webhooks are, helped me understand how Stripe can feed into Make and Make can feed into Webflow and Airtable, all these different things. And it was just that mind-blowing moment of, oh, I can do this. And that solved all the 4 major functions of Ophelia, which is again, how can someone purchase credits? How can someone attach credits to a ticket? How can a pro solve those tickets and receive credits, and lastly, how can they cash out. And that course just hit everything. So if you are scared of the Stripe API and Make, he teaches in such a great way. Cannot recommend this enough. So yeah. um then it got to this point. All right, I can make the functions work. Time to choose a membership platform. So I'm going to go through each of the tools that I've researched during these 30 days and how I got to my final um, thing. So starting off, the simplest thing, what they call the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest thing to try to implement, and that's Webflow memberships. So what I've learned that the pros, it's inside of Webflow already. It's there. So you can interact, you can add members directly into Webflow. However, you could only show member data on the user account page. You can't show it on every page, just the user account page. So to me, that was like, oh man, because I want to show people their credits wherever they go on the website. So whenever you go on hiophelia.com and you're clicking around through the app, I want that left sidebar to always show data that's to you, that's pertinent to your account. So you can't do that in Webflow memberships. So then I started to play around with Outseta. Cool person. The founder lives here in San Diego, so I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I already have a relationship with him. If I have questions, I can go straight to him. So I started to try to pull Stripe data and send it over to Outseta. And the cool things about Outseta is that it has a support ticket feature built in, which that's awesome. It also has a built-in CRM. You can create custom fields in it, and the team, again, they're awesome people, and they've answered all my questions. Um, and they even sent me Loom videos, like personally, about like, okay, here's how you do XYZ. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. But then I hit roadblocks and I found limited functionality for the type of app that I'm building. So, um, for like having custom fields for the help tickets and whatnot, that's not possible in their app. And so I needed something that was super duper custom. And while Outseta has a lot of great things out of the box, you can't make it exactly what you need. And that's why when I turned to Memberstack, and this is a great timing because honestly, I was kind of scared of Memberstack 1.0 because I was like, okay, I remember how complicated what it was, but I need to just try it out again. And this is when they just launched Memberstack 2.0, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me try this again. What's new? And so what I learned is that it's now easier to implement Memberstack into your Webflow project. There's still kind of a learning curve, but it's so much lower now. They've fixed a lot of stuff. And I know I'm not just saying that because Tyler's probably in the chat right now, but like this is the truth. I don't lie on my streams. I like to tell it how it is. So the pros about Memberstack so far that I've learned is yes, you can create those custom fields. You can send data in and out easily. You can show member data on any page that you want, just pulling in their JavaScript. And they have a ton of pre-built components and templates, and it's just a wonderful team. They really care about the community. And plus, shout out to them for having a Webflow community plan that's free. So if you check out their pricing page, they have a free version of it for Webflow community members. Anyways, the cons so far, zero. I haven't hit any roadblocks, but like they have so many resources that if there is a roadblock, it's already answered by their team. So yeah, Memberstack was what I chose. So, yeah. So now that I have that down, it time to start storing that data. So again, start with the smallest thing when you're building your app. So what's the smallest thing you can do? Or what you can learn? Well, if you're inside of Webflow, the most native thing is Webflow collections. So the pros of Webflow collections that I've learned is obviously you can create custom fields, you can send data in and out easily. You can't how Oh yeah, why did I put that under pro? Can't show member data on any page that I want. That should be a con. But yeah, but you can bind data to custom code and custom attributes. That part really, really vital. And the cons, well, you can't do complex record linking, CMS item linking with it. Yes, you can do uh reference fields and multi-ref, but then it gets kind of complicated and it just got too complex for my brain. There's probably easier ways to do this that I have set up for Ophelia now, but you know, you need a launch and just go for it and fix it later cuz yeah, that's just got to launch. So, I'm using Webflow collections still for the tickets and the list of pros, but then I needed another place to store data. And for the member data, people who sign up and whatnot, and people who buy credits, well, that's where Memberstack comes in. And so again, you can create custom fields and send data in and out of it. But if you want to do complex record linking, well, that's not where Memberstack is at, and that's totally fine. Their bread and butter is memberships. It's not complex data that links to each other. All right. So that's data storage. Oh, but where did I land with everything? So I landed with Airtable, and I've been introduced to Airtable by Aaron, who has a stream in about 30 minutes. So hopefully you're doing good, Aaron. Um, so what I learned is yes, you can create those custom fields. You can do complex record linking, and also it acts as a backup for both Webflow collections and Memberstack. So I haven't found any cons yet, but I feel like as time goes on, I'll find the cons. And yeah, so the complex record linking is what I have it set up as is Airtable counting who is solving what tickets, who is answering the ticket, or sorry, who's submitting the tickets, how many credits are being passed around. So it's counting all of that inside of Airtable, and I don't want Webflow collections or Memberstack to do that because it would be too complicated, right? So that's why I landed with for the collection. So I'm using Webflow collections. I'm using Memberstack, yeah, Memberstack and Airtable. So yeah, for my data storage. Um, Here we go. Maj, I'll give you my opinion on Wiz later. And let's see here. Andrew, follow you from 2021 when I first used Webflow. Happy to see what you're doing now. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you being here. All right. Again, if you have any questions, I'll answer them as soon as I can. All right. Automation. So, what links all of this together? Well, I'll go through my what I've researched, and it is again start with the things that are the easiest to learn. And so, first thing is Webflow logic, and I liked it, and I started to use it because it's native in Webflow. But then I realized, man, this feature is super duper limited at this point. And Webflow actually announced that both Webflow memberships and Logic have been shelved. They're still going to let people use it, but it's not their focus for the time being. And because of that, it's hard to trust that feature when there's other tools out there that are already solving for this. And so I had to move on and look for something else. And so naturally, I needed to find something with a simple UI and went to Zapier. And I'm like, okay, cool. Zapier, this is it. And it has a simple top to bottom UI for creating automations. It has it has a built-in emailing functionality, but then you get to the problem where if you want to have like different if this then that type of conditionals, it's called paths or filters, and you can only have like 3 paths or something. You can only have a couple of filters. It gets complicated real fast, and the UI isn't built for something that's super complicated. The UI, in my opinion, in Zapier is built for just um simple flows from point A to point B to C, D, E. Whereas mine, it's point A to B, but it could be B1 or B2 or B3. It can be all these different things. Yeah. So it's limited in that sense. And so what I landed up with was Make, which used to be called Integromat. And like, even though the UI doesn't look as good as Zapier, in it looks very complicated when you first jump into Make, but you can get over this learning curve with YouTube tutorials or Connor Finlayson's tutorials. Things started to click, things started to make sense, and I'm like, I love Make. Make is so powerful. So that's where I ended up. Make is my jam. All right. And so I think this is where I landed. I'm using the WAMMS stack: Webflow, Airtable, Memberstack, Make, Stripe. WAMMS stack. Yeah. So that's how Ophelia was built. And someone asked, yeah. So I had this whole slide just for you, Maj. So I knew people were going to ask, "Hey Nelson, why didn't you use Wiz, Client First, Xano, Memberspace, Flowplay, WhaleSync, Slater app, JetBoost, VidsFlow, Lumos, Lada." Oh, thanks for breakfast. Yay. Why didn't you use all these other tools? And uh to be honest, MVP. I just needed to build something really quick. And while I was building Ophelia, actually, I still remember the moment when I was uh looking for a domain name, looking for a name for this app before I landed on Ophelia. I was like on GoDaddy and I was just researching names for this app, and then I'm like, oh, the FinSuite team has a live stream about Wiz 2.0. Let me watch it. And the things that were saying, I was like, oh, why didn't I just use Wiz? I'm already too deep into using Make. I think it's too late. So, do I want to use Wiz? Yes. Do I want to use Xano and other things? Yes. But I would love to use those apps. And what I would love is to have that problem of, oh no, my app is getting sluggish. It's getting too big. There's too many members. There's too much data flowing in and out that things are going slow. If it gets to that point, I would be so happy, because that means people are getting value out of this idea and people are using it. So that means I'd be probably making enough money to hire someone to move things to Wiz, to move things to Xano. Right now, I just want to prove the point that people are looking for help and are valuing the community's time and knowledge. And there's people out there who are pros that want to help community members and want to spend their time helping them. So if I can prove this point, if people are using it and it gets too big and sluggish, then yes, I will use other tools. I will use other frameworks, and I will hire people to help me get there. But for now, this is the MVP. And yes, um, let's see here. Yeah, so that's how I built this in 30 days. And lastly, I want to say that no matter how small your idea is, no matter how small, as long as the purpose of it is to help your fellow human in a positive way, please just do it. Do the things that will help humans in a positive way. And that's where this idea started from. So that's my little presentation. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And while I'm waiting for questions, this is this is what Ophelia is running right now. So making if anyone's making an account right now, if anyone's uh gifting a credits to friends, if anyone, yeah, there's just so much I've learned. And for example, I think this one's my most complicated. Yeah. So this is why I need to use make instead of Zapier, because there's so many if thens happening. So you have a webhook going to Airtable, going to a router, which has another router, and yeah. Yay, Maj, you created an account. Yeah. And I would love if you if you join Ophelia and you're looking around. Yeah, not much to do yet inside of Ophelia, but I do have plans. I have huge plans. And for everyone who already signed up, thank you. If you're getting your question answered, even just one person, that makes this whole 30-day journey worth it, because that's my whole philosophy. Help one person a day. Just help one person a day and see where that leads your life, because it's not about the money, it's about how many humans can you help. And what's cool about helping one person a day is you have this butterfly effect. You helping that one person could help someone you've never met, but then could help someone else. Then could it's like that, drop a pebble in a pond, in this ripple effect that you have on this world could go so far. So just help one person a day. Yeah, love this idea. Oh, love you too, Bart. Um, yeah. Peter's such a great North Star. We all must help each other. Exactly. That's where this stemmed from. I'm now that I'm left Webflow, yes, I'm trying to pay bills and trying to figure out ways to do that. But as long as your idea is pure, as long as your idea is helping humans, people will see that. All right. Yeah. If there's no questions in chat, I'm happy to end the stream. I hope you got some value out of it. If you have questions on what I've done to build, more questions on how I built Ophelia, I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, the future of what Ophelia right now is tickets, but I have bigger things, and this is not. Tell me about Pixel Plus. I'm not sure what Pixel Plus is. Is that like Disney Plus? Yeah. Um yeah, sorry Maj. Don't know that one. All right. Let's see here. All right. So that's Ophelia. Thank you all so much. Again, I appreciate you all who supported my journey, and I want to support you in yours however I can. Um all right, here's a question from Andrew. Do you ever try to interact with physical device like point of sale? Um, Point of sale systems, that is not my jam. That is way beyond me. I think that's Square, that's Toast, and these other big players, Shift 4. Yeah, yeah. I don't know about that world. I make websites. Tyler, I can't wait to see you as well. So excited for Webflow Conf coming up really soon. I got to prep for Speed Build Challenge. Ah. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Hope this has been a valuable stream for you. And if you have any other questions, my DMs are open. I'm on Twitter. Let me post my Twitter so you know it. Let me see here. Actually, boom, don't forget hiophilia.com. Let me see here. Tweet at me. Is this still called a tweet or is it X me or post at me? So it's at the Pixel Geek. There you go. Cool. I think I like Restream Studio. I think I'll try it even more. All right, everyone, cross me. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. And as always, thanks for making the web beautiful together. See ya.